take a break. Oh, I'll see what's on Twitter. Wow, what an interesting account. I'll take a look. Oh, I learned this in class. The first aspect, I think, would be expert in digital education content. Teachers have to know about the subject they are specialized when teaching, and apart from that, they have to know pedagogical contents when teaching their subject. This is known as TPAC, but what it is? It is a model that identifies the types of knowledge that a teacher needs to master in order to integrate ICTs effectively in the classroom when teaching. TPAC is essential nowadays as it incorporates the growing demand on the use of technology in classroom as well as continuing the focus on the content and how we teach it. TPAC is really useful for explaining activities with the help of ICTs. In addition, the teacher can choose technologies that will support the activity type and aid the students in learning, using tools as Drive, PowerPoint, Classroom, YouTube, or QR codes to access to the information easily. In summary, this makes the learning and teaching process more effective. The second aspect would be expanded reflective practical. A characteristic of teachers is that they reflect and investigate. Active research is the most important form of educational research from reflective practice. The teacher seeks the development of practical knowledge based on his own teaching experience and collecting evidence. So a teacher who takes advantage of technologies for this is a teacher who passes the reflective to the practical. When it comes to research and information, it is important to take advantage of the information that technology offers us. Because a key element to be a good teacher nowadays is to know how to combine the pedagogical content knowledge with technology. When it comes to research and information, it is important to take advantage of the information that technology offers us because it is easier to get information, it brings innovation in many files and helps teachers to learn new techniques for the school life. For this action to take place, some of the implements that can be used are the social media, specialized blogs, or official documents of experts. In conclusion, this makes the teacher's continuous research more effective, fast, and professional. The third aspect would be expert in an ACID organizational personal learning context. In the past, teachers acquired the knowledge using tools such as encyclopedia, books, newspaper, etc. However, nowadays they must take advantage of technologies when it comes to getting new learning and self-training. We call this PLE. This is not only formed by resources, information sources, connection, and activities, but it is also formed by the attitudes and conditions that organize our learning action. It is also enriched by relationships with others, sharing the PLE itself with other schools' adults, voluntary or involuntary. In my opinion, every teacher should take into account the technologies that surround him and be able to take advantage of them, creating a self-learning framework in which ICTs are included when collecting, creating, and sharing information. PLE is a key element in teachers who take advantage of technologies and is used to collect, create, and share information. All social networks are important in this, as well as interpersonal relationships. Indeed, any element from which information can be obtained is important when developing the previous points. Also, the most important ones would be YouTube, Twitter, especially its blogs, Pinterest, Google Academic, and Moodle, which I would add to my PLE. The technological ones would be infographic, which is an informative visual representation or diagram of written text that in some way summarizes or diminishes the text, explains it figuratively. There are several types of non-linguistic and linguistic graphics and signs forming descriptions, expository, augmentative, or narrative sequences, and even interpretations. The figurative graphic presentation involves the concrete text and may or may not take the form of animated sequence and may include sounds. Above all, didactic in intent, infographic was born as a means of transmitting information graphically in a more dynamic, vivid, and imaginative way than merely typographic. Students must be tired of reading boring text that expose what they have to learn. If we add to specific lessons and tasks infographic, this will show a greater attention, while through visual memory the contents would be easier to learn from them. A brief example is to teach the students the planets by using an infographic. So that is a visual way to learn their characteristic in an easy and fun way. The other technological one would be augmented reality. Augmented reality is a set of technology, visual, textual, and sound that allow a user to visualize part of the real world, usually interactively, through a technological device with graphic information added for that purpose. Unlike virtual reality, which creates a fictional world, augmented reality changes the environment that already exists and creates new information about it. Augmented reality is a good element to learn on at school, since it not only improves learning but also gives students the opportunity to create their own content. Adding augmented reality in the classroom also implies the introduction of technologies, something very positive nowadays for students since it prepares them for the future as well as offering them many important skills for their develop in the 21st century. Augmented reality has many benefits and can be used for many things, but one example where it can be used to explain the human body to students as they can operate the electronic device and see the different parts, learning in an interactive and visual way. About the theoretical ones, the first would be PLE. The personal learning environment, as explained by Adelan Castañeda, is the set of tools, sources of information, connections, and activities that each person uses assiduously to learn. In other words, people's PLEs are shaped by the processes, experiences, and strategies that the learning can and must implement in order to learn, share, and create. A PLE is an own personal resource for answers to questions, supporting context for ideas and illustration of the way concepts work. In addition to the classic experiences that shaped our learning in formal education, new experiences are integrated into people's personal learning environment, to which we bring together current technological tools, especially application and service web. PLE is a crucial thing when it comes to teaching and learning. However, in situations such as the one we are living due to the crisis of the COVID-19, it is very important to use it since it will help us to self-train and to have at our disposal a great amount of tools. I think I have been improving as the subject has been developed, learning from my mistakes and acquiring new skills. So I think I deserve an 8 in this subject since my effort has been paying off. I think that the most important role for me has been analyzed, since I must evaluate the work of the group and also the work of my college. And in my opinion, this is very significant for the operation of the group. I've learned something new from all the roles, but I think the role that has been the most challenging for me and the one that I have learned the most from has been STAR, since I have to have good qualities of expression in English and especially self confidence. I would probably add them all to my PLE since I have learned how to take advantage of all of them and I find them very interesting when it comes to teaching or learning. However, I think that augmented reality or infographics would be the ones that I would add permanently since they can be used for many activities and are easy to use with children. And it seems to me that nowadays it is very important to use tools like this to teach students in different ways.